smell-o-vision right now? Jared, we gotta get you on smell-o-vision. So about 4 years ago, I can't believe it's been 4 years now, but 4 years ago, I decided that I was tired of New Jersey life and I needed to make a change. I really didn't have God in my life and I was just kind of treading water. Not happy, stressed out of my mind, a lot of anxiety and depression because I didn't have the Lord in my life and just got tired of the hustle and bustle in New Jersey. So I decided I'm gonna move down south and I'm gonna move around people that kind of have the same feeling that I do about the Almighty. Moved into Monroe, met Phil Robertson, and the rest is history. After I met Phil Robertson, he preached the gospel to me and told me things that I never knew. And I started to change my life around once I accepted the gospel. And now I have weekly Bible studies with him. And it's just been great for me. I hunt with him. I cook for him. I come up with all these different recipes now based on my heritage as an Italian. You know, an Italian comes down here to, you know, northern Louisiana and they look at you and say, what Italian? What is all that about? So I start talking about red gravy and how I'm going to put a, you know, an influence on it from the Cajun side, and they look at me like, what are you nuts? What are you talking about? Cajun Italian? So I have invented Cajun Italian. So what we're going to do is today I'm actually going to show you how to make my secret wood duck meatballs. They are Italian meatballs with a twist, and that twist is that kind of Cajun twist that I put on it, and we're using wood duck. And then what we're going to do is to really give it that Cajun twist is we're going to do what I call wood duck meatballs with Boudin, and the Boudin's actually stuffed inside the meatballs. And we're going to smoke it or we're going to bake it because you can do it either way. And I think it's going to be real tasty. It's going to smell this place up real nice. We're going to have people banging down the doors to get this. I got that red gravy simmering behind me. I made it this morning. That's a whole nother secret that you're not going to get unless you follow me on YouTube, and you can get that red gravy secret. All right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start grinding here. We got our big industrial grinder. And we're just going to start running these wood duck breasts through. And we're going to put a little bit of fresh garlic. More breast. We want fresh garlic in here. And again, if you don't have a grinder, it's not the end of the world. You can do this by hand. It's just going to take you a little longer. But you want to try to get it up in the small, fine pieces if you're doing it by hand. You see that nice garlic in there? Boy, oh boy, I can just smell it already. I smell that gravy in the background. Reminds me of Sundays with Grandma. Ah, brings back memories. Food is the key to everything. It's key to the gospel. It's key to friendship. It's how we live. So why not live good, have the gospel in our hearts, and eat real fine food while we're talking about the gospel? That is all what life is about. So we're going to go ahead and finish cutting this down. Just be careful with your knife. I have a very sharp blade here, so I don't want to get fingertips mixed in with the meatballs. That probably wouldn't be too appetizing if someone got a fingertip or a fingernail. So we're going to try not to do that. This breast, if we had smell-o-vision right now, Jared, we got to get you on smell-o-vision. You got to figure out how to do that, because I haven't even cooked this breast, and this aroma that is coming from this is unbelievable. All right. Got that meat in there. What we're going to do next, we're going to get our pork in there. Now, I like to do equal parts. So we're gonna go equal parts pork. Probably need a little more in there. Let's go. Never hurt to have too much fat in there. See, duck breast is really lean, so fat is flavor. Everybody knows fat is flavor. The more fat you can get in there to complement the duck, the better off you're gonna be. Get some beef in here, freshly ground. A little more. That. All right, we're cooking here now. So now, we'll go ahead and get some eggs in here. I'm gonna do 3 eggs. So Italian meatballs primarily is a mixture of Italian seasoning, a couple other secret little things here, but the main meats that you're looking at is it's gonna be pork, veal, and beef. But what I've done is I've replaced the veal with the duck breast. So it's still an Italian meatball, just with duck and not veal. So we'll just cut up some onions real quick. I always like to put some real fresh, good, clean onions in there. Now we're cooking, look at that. Masterpiece. All right, secret additive here. Parmesan Romano cheese. Let's get it in there. Don't be afraid. But I want to try to leave some for the end too, because I'm going to show you when you plate it, we're going to use that, more of that. Go ahead and get some breadcrumbs in here. Try to do equal parts breadcrumbs, equal parts Parmesan. You'll add more Parmesan and more breadcrumbs once you start mixing. So now, since it's raw meat, right? I talked to you about raw meat. You want to make sure you don't get it all over the place. So I got these little gloves I use when I mix, because you can't mix this with a spoon. You want to mix this by hand. And the only way to get up in there is with your hands. So get up and personal. If I was making this for my family, I would not be putting gloves on. But I realize we're gonna have people banging down that door soon to get some of this. So I'm gonna make sure that I got gloves on, because we don't wanna get cross-contamination here. And now we are gonna start mixing. Primarily use one hand, and all I do is I turn and squeeze, turn and squeeze, turn and squeeze. And that's how we get it all mixed in right. Turn and squeeze. So we're just gonna keep turning and pushing and turning and pushing. Make sure to incorporate everything into the mix. It looks like, since I've been doing this a couple of times, I don't think I need to add any more breadcrumbs. But if you're making it at home and it's not the consistency like this, where when you squeeze it into a ball, it holds on its own, that's good. If it's a little wet, add more breadcrumbs. If it's dry and it tends to crumble, add another egg. All right, so like I said, I want to do a Boudin meatball, and I want to do a regular wood duck meatball. So I'm going to split this in half. And half of it's going to be for my Boudin, and the other half, well, that's going to be regular meatballs. So depending on how many people you're going to feed, that's going to determine the size of your meatball. And actually, what I think I want to do is preheat this oven now, so we're good to go. You make sure you got your gravy simmering in the background too. You always want that gravy to continue to cook. The more the gravy cooks, the more flavorful it's going to be, because it's going to be releasing a lot of those flavors as you cook that gravy. That's why it's called Sunday all-day gravy. That's what it's all about. Start at about 5 in the morning, and it's ready to go by 7 p.m. for dinner. I I get my Boudin balls from Lafayette. They get flown up to a local store that I shop at, and I buy them before they do anything with them. And what a lot of the Cajuns like to do is they'll take these Boudin balls and then they'll bread them and fry them. Well, I'm gonna do the opposite. And as you can see, these Boudin balls, they're big. So what I might do is kind of split them in half, because I don't want a humongous meatball. So what we'll do, we'll cut that Boudin ball in half. And now if you don't have the opportunity to get Boudin from Lafayette, like I do, what you can do is go and buy yourself just a regular container of Boudin. You can get Boudin sausage. Take it, cut it open, and grab the Boudin out of it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a meatball. I'm gonna push down in the middle. I'm gonna take my Boudin, I'm gonna put it in the middle, and I'm just gonna slowly squeeze and pinch as I form a meatball with the Boudin in the middle. And there you go, Boudin meatball. It's a little bigger than the average meatball. You want to make sure you get your oven up to 350 when you get them in there, and you're going to want to flip them about 20 minutes in. Total cook time's anywhere from 40 to 45 minutes. You're going to finish them off in your red gravy, so make sure your red gravy's nice and hot. Get a look at that. That ain't no sauce, folks. That's red Italian gravy. Jersey Joe style. So you want to just drop it in. Get them all in the bed. People eat with their eyes just as much as they eat with their hands. So presentation is very important. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick me a nice Boudin meatball. We're going to put it right there. We're going to come over here. We're going to get a little bit of red gravy. We're going to put that red gravy on top. Look at that. Just look at that. You have big tomato pieces in there. A little bit of Romano on there. Just for color, a little pinch of pepper. Now watch this. Look at that Boudin in there. That there is what it's all about. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have it. Wood duck Boudin meatballs. Wood duck meatballs in red gravy. A little birdie told me that they're filming in the podcast room. We're gonna go ahead and crash the party. We're gonna sneak in on them. They can probably smell it by now. They know something's up. Look at that guy looking at us.
Whoa! Jersey Joe is here, boys, with the meatball.
What is that?
Oh, we lost
Three.
one.
I call that one.
We lost one.
Run off.
Hold on now, this is lunch per bag. Okay.
Easy, boy.
What is
We'll get back on that salt and fish bag.
Right,
We were trying to do a commercial.
this is service, boys.
So we we caught all these ducks. We got to figure out what to do with them all.
Oh, okay, so that's duck meat.
So you got.
You caught them?
I call him. Yeah.
Caught them or
Yeah.
killed them?
I called and killed them.
Yeah. Catch him.
Okay.
Yeah, you know
He got both, and then he cooked them.
You didn't talk about the bandit one I got.
Oh, Lord.
All right, so what we got here, Uncle Si, is we got my homemade Jersey Joe wood duck meatballs, and I made a little secret one. I made wood duck Boudin meatballs.
Well,
The wood duck boudin meatball's got boudin in the middle of it. The best thing you ever tasted.
Forget the doodad.
If it's boudin, hey, forget me.
Yeah, don't get side
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Some of that real gravy.
That is Italian red gravy there, Uncle Si.
This is just straight wood duck, right?
That is wood duck along with Italian meats.
Okay.
Oh, man.
He's not gonna give me any details.
Who wants boudin?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Okay.
I'll take.
Holy cow.
What about it? Thanks, sir.
He's a real true blue Italian.
You
Chinese say, yeah, dealer's choice.
try this boudin.
It's good.
This is my invention.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, yeah.
I ain't telling the dealer what.
Get his little knife.
Oh boy.
Holy cow.
I don't need it. I wouldn't leave this thing like a popsicle.
Jersey Joe, you hired, big dog.
You like it?
Good.
You hired.
What do you think, Uncle Si?
No. That's good.
Uncle Si ain't saying.
The reason I'm not talking about is I'm too busy eating.